All right, it's July 16th, 2024. We are at the busiest intersection in southwestern Maine, here at 5 and 11 in Limerick, at this barn that we've been working on. You might know from previous videos and stuff, there was once a connector that went in between these two buildings. You can see this is the General McDonald's house right here. It's a three-story, federal period, colonial that deserves its own video and what have you. But what we had to do is, because there was a connector here that got dismantled, we ended up siding in this section last winter, and then the far more damaged area was this barn that had the L coming into it, and was taken apart, covered with tarps. We weren't really sure if there was time to do it, but here we are. Yeah, we got this wall back together. So what happened is, pretty much wherever you see a new piece of wood, an old piece didn't exist. They had opened it kind of completely up, and with hopes of, I think, fixing the L, but then once you get the, once they kind of would open it up, then they saw just how far they had to go. So everyone kind of went up to it and didn't know what to do with it, and the L was so damaged, the easiest thing, get it out of the way, do our fixes here. So what's pretty interesting about it, and let's actually go inside first, is that it took us a little bit to work out what it is, because when you go inside, you can see that it's kind of, there's a lot of mortises that don't leak anywhere, and you could tell that it was once something else. Plenty of caulking but what we decided on is that what I believe it once was a larger truss frame building that was taken apart and built into this barn. You can see it has these king posts, which is very unusual for a barn. Usually it has some sort of posting. So and then it has this rod that goes from the king post down to the tie girth, which was made so you could get a full span underneath here. You just kind of take a carriage in wherever, and all these loft girths would just be suspended, and you could stack hay or whatever else on them and have no posts. And I think they went for it, but they didn't quite get it. The struts are way undersized, so you can almost see the deflection from down here, where they have these big bellies in them. They weren't really able to take that weight from that king post and send it to the side. So what you had is kind of this belly on the inside, in which previous contractors put posts in kind of your more traditional spots of what a typical dairy barn would be, which is offset. Well, we have put them, there's our loud stuff that we've been talking about. Then we decided to just post up here, get it straight, and hopefully we'll be able to rebuild the truss at some point and get this full span back. But that's kind of the stopping point for where we had to go. But you can see how they reworked this all, where these continuous beams were once the bottom chords in the original, whatever the original truss building, probably some sort of church. And what they did is they cut everything a little bit shorter, so you can see how you get this press where you can shine straight up, and you can almost see the mark of a half dovetail joint that would have gone up and over, and that's at that bevel. And that's kind of offset center. So I imagine this was once center in the longer piece, and then over here you have the same sort of mortise, right? That has, look right straight underneath it, that has that same offset for a half dovetail. So again, they probably just took off a little bit off of this side, and then they took a little bit off of this side. So this building is probably just a little bit less wide than the original truss building. And you can see in the posts, the markings when we go up top, we can see is that it was a scribe building that basically the posts got cut shorter, and then all the joinery got cut into it. And yeah, onward we go. And it has this kind of cool bolt that then goes, you can see on either side, that runs from through the rafter all the way through the tie beam, then has that little block and really has done a really good job of holding everything together.
1%.
So yeah, let's not make this too long. 1%?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Have any. See these marks here? You can see all how the scribe layout for the former braces that would have gone up. Again, they just cut everything down and then re-put their mortises for how this frame was going to be constructed. And if you follow it down here, a fun little mistake that happened, you can see how this tapers from there to almost to nothing, is they just did the layout wrong. They measured off their top of their post at a different measurement here than here. That's why the eave is straight, the girts are straight, but this one's at a little bit of kick. Old guys made mistakes too. So it's probably all the battery we have, and probably a good thing. We need to get to work.
Yeah.